You have to look out for each other, and that's a different sort of sense of responsibility within a team structure. And then I will say near going up different skills, and that's something that not many do. Something is happening in the British royal family that caught everyone by surprise. For months the signs have been appearing, small at first, then hard to miss, but now, oh, it's clear. Princess Anne, who has quietly stayed in the background for 50 years, has finally taken action. Her target is Queen Camilla. Sources close to the palace say that William is not facing this alone. His aunt is supporting him. If the insiders are correct, Camilla is about to have a very difficult day. The 50-year grudge that never truly disappeared between Anne and Camilla. Before we discuss what is happening right now, it's essential to understand the past. The events unfolding inside Buckingham Palace in 2026 did not begin last year, nor did they start when Charles became king. They trace back to 1970, and they have never truly been resolved. In June of that year, a 19-year-old Princess Anne went on a date with a charming British Army officer named Andrew Parker Bowles. If that name sounds familiar, it should. He was the man Camilla would later marry. At the time, Andrew and Camilla were already on and off relationship, but that did not stop him from pursuing, and nor did it say Oppen from showing interest in him. Here's where it becomes complicated. While Andrew was courting Princess Anne, Camilla decided to strike back. She began a fling with Prince Charles, motivated by the thought of teaching Andrew a lesson. A source described this dynamic: well, Andrew is currently off with Princess Anne, let's teach him a lesson. This revenge romance between Camilla and Charles would go on to reshape the entire British monarchy, ultimately leading to a disastrous royal marriage, a bitter divorce, and the tragic death of Princess Diana. So yes, the roots of what we are witnessing today extend over 50 years back. Royal writer Richard K. referred to this group as a very glamorous for some, but glamorous is not how most people would describe it. This situation is messy, complicated, and unresolved. Now, why is this important? According to multiple insiders, Princess Anne and Camilla have never genuinely buried the past. The polite smiles exchanged at public engagements and the careful desk since they maintain suggests that the two women harbor a deep, complicated history that has never fully dissolved. While Anne has publicly praised Camilla on select occasions, such as during the 2023 BBC documentary about Charles's coronation year, those close to Anne assert that a very different version of her exists behind closed the doors. Consider what Anne has witnessed. She watched her brother marry Diana in 1981 and witnessed the devastating collapse of that marriage in the most public, painful way imaginable. She saw Diana cry before the world with Camilla's shadow looming over every aspect of it, and never spoke out. She remained loyal to the car around. However, remaining silent is not the same as forgiving. Recently, insiders claim that the silence has ended. What Camilla has done is tap into something far deeper than current palace politics. She has activated the one woman in the British royal family with decades of memory, impeccable credibility, and absolutely nothing to lose, whose Princess Anne has outlasted prime ministers, endured person or scandals, and attended more royal engagements than almost anyone alive. She does not bend neither for protocol nor for politics, and certainly not for Queen Camilla. Understanding where this all started makes everything happening now clear, and no curtsy moment sent shockwaves through the palace. March 9, 2026, Westminster Abbey, the Commonwealth Day service. Cameras rolled and millions watched, but most viewers had no idea they were witnessing what experts are now calling one of the most quietly devastating power moves in recent royal history. The event began like any other formal royal gathering. The senior royals arrived. Prince William greeted his father, King Charles, with a kiss on the cheek. Kate performed a deep, graceful curtsy for the king, and did the same for Queen Camilla. The Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh followed the established protocol, bowing and curtsying. Everyone was in their lane, adhering to the rules, and Princess Anne approached Queen Camilla. She leaned and kissed her sister-in-law on the cheek and walked away without a curtsy or any acknowledgement of protocol. This was the woman who has spent her entire life as a disciplined defender of royal tradition, known for correcting others about proper etiquette, choosing that moment on that stage in front of the world to send a message. Clips of this moment exploded on social media within hours. On Reddit, one user wrote, "And didn't curtsy to Camilla. I was waiting to see if she would." Another added, "Is she supposed to?" I thought yes, because Kate did. Thousands more wait, and analyzing every second of the footage and trying to decipher its meaning. Royal protocol clearly states that anyone with an HR each title should bow to the sovereign and their spouse, which includes Queen Camilla. Kate followed this rule. Sophie followed it, and did not, and the palace remains silent. No clarification, no statement, just silence. This incident wasn't entirely isolated. Just a few months earlier, in November 2024, at the University of London, Camilla had attempted to ask Anne to enter a room before her in a significant move. Princess Anne smiled and politely refused, allowing Camilla to enter first. According to the Daily Express, and insisted on honoring Camilla rank. That was the version of Anne who played by the rules. However, by March 2026, something had shifted. What changed? Source as close to Princess Anne point to escalating frustrations that had been building behind palace walls for months. This was not a woman who forgot protocol. This was a woman who made a deliberate choice. Royal watchers familiar with and character assert that she never makes accidental choices at public events. Every move is intentional, every gesture calculated. The message she Sen, and that Abby was unambiguous. It was the Princess Royal, the hardest working member of the British royal family, and a woman who has served the crown for over 5 decades, making her stand. Camilla dressed in red had no choice but to turn away. What can you do? When your sister-in-law publicly decides you are not worthy of a curtsy, you say nothing and feel the weight of those moments. The cruel campaign that finally pushed an over the edge. If the no curtsy moment was the signal, what happened next was the full declaration. The situation involves 2 women, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, who many think have faced enough challenges already. By spring 2026, royal watchers noticed troubling trend. Beatrice and Eugenie were no longer appearing at royal events. March passed without sight of them, and reports claimed they were barred from attending Royal Ascot, an event their family had attended for years. Next came the Chelsea Flower Show with no explanation from the palace. Their quiet absence hinted at a deliberate exclusion that spoke louder than any official statement. Princess Anne was reportedly furious about this. According to palace insiders, she is very protective of her nieces and doesn't like seeing them treated poorly. The term outsider is key here, and sees Camilla the Queen as the outsider responsible for this decision. She believes that Camilla is influencing King Charles, who is dealing with cancer and may lack the energy to resist. One insider shared and doesn't think Charles would allow this treatment if Camilla weren't behind it. This coldness isn't who he is, it's Camilla doing, reports say, and finds the exclusion of Beatrice and huge any awful. She believes the sisters shouldn't be punished for their father Prince Andrew controversies. Notably, Eugenie was pregnant at the time, expecting her 3rd child. Get the palace kept closing its doors to her, and response has been strong. Close sources say she will not stay silent and has positioned herself at war with other senior royals over this issue. The source added, and doesn't easily back down when it comes to our principles. She is certainly demanding a meeting with King Charles. She wants to reverse the decision and bring Beatrice and Eugenie back into the fold, and is ready to create tension within the palace to make it happen. The situation is more than just a family squabble, and sees herself as an aunt and a guardian of the late Queen Elizabeth II's legacy. She believes her mother would not want her granddaughters treated this way. This issue goes beyond Beatrice and Eugenie and invokes the legacy of the woman who built their family, and opposes what she sees as its dismantling. This puts Camilla in a challenging position. While she can manage critics and weather scandals, silencing a woman with 50 years of loyal service who believes she is fighting for the institution's values will not be easy. William's Diana tribute that left Camilla completely sidelined. While in conflict with Camilla has been unfolding, Prince William has been quietly making his own powerful statement. Everything he does focuses on one name, Diana. On July 1, 2026, which would have been Princess Diana's 65th birthday, William recognized as the day in Edinburgh. He attended the Order of the Thistle service at St. Giles's Cathedral, fulfilling his role as the Duke of Rothesay. Wearing deep green ceremonial robes and a feathered hat, he stood next to King Charles and Queen Camilla, but all the attention that day was on Diana. The scene was hard to miss. William, the son who still feels the loss of his mother, honored her birthday while standing mere feet from the woman many blame for Diana's suffering. William did not speak about this publicly. His presence alone said it all. William also marked Diana's birthday by strengthening his Homewards initiative. This campaign aims to end homelessness, reflecting Diana's caring legacy. As the initiative celebrated its 3rd anniversary, it had spent over $2.6 million through the Homewards Fund across 6 locations in the UK. William is putting Diana's values into action in a way that doesn't need Buckingham Palace's approval. Camilla has worked hard to improve her public image. She has taken on various patronages, built a friendlier persona, and has even received praise from Anne. The magic moments, however, William is doing something Camilla cannot easily counter. He represents Diana's legacy in a way that does not directly attack Camilla, but also excludes her. Royal watchers note that William is creating a lasting memory of Diana through the Diana Award, Homewards, and meaningful public tributes. This approach builds narrative that Camilla is not a part of. There is no place for her in that story. Insiders report that this strategy is intentional. Multiple royal commentary sources describe how William is changing the monarchy story to center on Diana in a way that excludes Camilla. The public connects with this narrative. Polls show strong affection for Diana's memory. He and for William as her son. This is valuable political capital, and William is using it wisely. What does this mean for Camilla? It means that as long as William is active in royal life, there will always be a version of the monarchy's history where Camilla cannot erase or join. Princess and standing with William in this narrative is not only personal, it shows to people from different generations, ensuring that what happened to Diana and what she stood for is always remembered. And demands Charles confront Camilla. Palaces a breaking point. King Charles is currently under a lot of stress. His cancer treatment continues, and his public schedule has been busy. In 2025, he attended more official of it. Ernst and Princess Anne for the first time in years with 532 events compared to her 478. However, he is facing pressure from people close to him. On one side, Queen Camilla and Prince William want to push Eugenie and Beatrice, the York sisters, away from the royal family. Camilla is making strong efforts to achieve this, and William agrees of her because he wants to reduce Prince Andrew's influence. Insiders say that although Camilla and William don't often see eye to eye, they are aligned on this issue. On the other side is Princess Anne, who is determined and not backing down. She wants to meet with Charles to discuss what she sees as unfair treatment of Beatrice and Eugenie. She is willing to confront Camilla even if it causes tension with the king. This situation puts King Charles in a difficult position. Princess Anne is a significant figure in the royal family and has decades of royal experience. She is committed to her responsibilities and as much of the hard work that others avoid. This includes managing investiture ceremonies, which William has often skipped and fight. Since this frustrating, even though Anne admires William and will support him when he becomes king, she wants him to take on more of the less glamorous work that she has done for years. She is trying to guide him while also standing up for what she believes in. Camilla is facing a challenging situation. She must deal with both Anne, who represents the royal family's history, and William, who represents its future. The tension between them is real and growing. Camilla, who began this story over 50 years ago, may find it hard to navigate as this story develops. One thing is clear: the tension in Buckingham Palace is not going away. New updates are coming out regularly, and they can reveal important